your profile lines anymore. You can do it however you want, but that's just kind of a preference of mine. So I ended up dragging that over to about 85. You can see how now I've got this entire bench with my 1-inch slices. And obviously it doesn't look like a very comfortable bench, but you could take this and you could apply this to whatever shape that you want. That's where I'm going to end today's video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Is this something, do you have some interesting ideas for how to use this? I just love having that SketchUp conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. If you like what I'm doing in this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's only $1 a month. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys. What's up, guys? Justin here with the SketchUpEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp quick tutorial for you. So today's video is, I guess, kind of a user request video. So I received a video asking, or I received an email asking how to model a certain shape within SketchUp, and I wanted to go ahead and make a tutorial on that. So before I get started, today's video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon. Patreon, as most of you know, is the website where you can support creators that you like on YouTube. So if you like what I'm doing on this channel, you're thinking about maybe supporting the show, make sure to check out that link in the notes down below. But let's go ahead and just jump into it. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create kind of a spiraling roof. So this is an image that was sent to me, and basically what it is it's a roof that, as you can see, starts off with a lower spiral that spirals out, and then it's also got a higher roof that spirals out and up. And so I'm going to show you how to create this skin across this piece. And so you're going to need a couple extensions in order to do this. So the first extension you're going to need is Curve-A-Loft. We've talked about that extension a bunch in the past. You're also going to need Curve Maker, which I will link to my video on that down below. You're going to need Helix along curve. And if you want to apply a texture to this, you're probably going to want Fredo tools, which includes Through Paint. But we'll go ahead and do these one at a time. So to start off, what we're going to do is basically you have to be able to draw two different spirals in order to create this shape. So I'm going to start off with the Archimedes spiral section of Curve Maker. And so when you click on the Archimedes spiral, the first thing this is going to ask is it's going to ask you how many turns it wants you to start with. In this case, I'm going to say 1, and I'm going to hit the enter key, and then it's going to say how many turns you want it to go to. So in this case, I want it to go to a second one. So I'm going to put in 2, and I'm going to hit the enter key. And so now it's going to ask me to set a center point. And so I'm just going to click somewhere. And you can see what this does is this is basically creating a single spiral. So it goes from one outline to a second outline. And so what it's going to ask you is it's going to ask you for 2 radiuses. So in this case, the first radius is going to be your wider radius. So I'm going to go ahead and set that at something like 10 feet and hit the enter key. And then it's going to ask for my second radius, which is going to set how wide my second point is, and in this case I'm going to go ahead and say something like 8 feet and hit the enter key. And so what that does is that goes ahead and that comes in here and that creates my first spiral. So that's going to make up the base of my house, or the base of my roof. And so one thing about this is I'm going to go ahead and right click in here and I'm going to explode this. But one thing to note about this is it has a certain number of segments. And I don't believe you can come in here and change that. And so that's going to become important because what's going to have to happen is you're going to have to match the number of segments for your roof. So just pay attention to what this number is for the spiral that's created. So just remember I right clicked on it and I clicked explode to delete the group that this initially gets created in. And then now I've just clicked on it to see the number of segments. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where the top of my roof is going to start. And so in this case, we'll go ahead and say this is going to be, let's go ahead and call it something like 8 feet tall for right now. And so I'm basically setting the height. So I'm assuming that this roof at its high point is going to slope up to 8 feet. And then probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down and split this into a 2-foot segment. And then I'm going to erase out my bottom piece. And the reason for this is because I'm going to use this to create my helix around. So you can see how this is basically a 2-foot line just sitting centered in space. And so if you look at this image, the way this is going to work is this is going to have a wider circle in the middle of it. And so